Hi, it's Don Southerton, another weekly episode of Everything Korea. This week's topic is trade versus taste. Now, with some new car industry data coming out for the first half of 2017, along with KORUS FTA trade back on the radar, here are some of my thoughts. Now, at the recent joint White House news conference with newly elected Korean President Moon Jae-in and President Donald Trump, it drove a new round of debate over the trade imbalance by saying, and this is Trump's quote, South Korean companies sell cars in America. American companies should have the same exact privilege on the reciprocal basis. And I'm sure we'll be able to work that out. So, frankly, I see this as nothing new, and the imbalance of matter of trade versus taste. Let me explain a little bit more. As background, under the 2012 U.S.-Korea Free Trade Agreement, which we call KORUS, it addressed the import of Korean cars to the U.S. Now, the agreement kept a 2.5% U.S. tariff on all Korean cars coming in until the fifth year of the implementation. Now, at the same time, Korea cut tariff on U.S. imports in half from 8% to 4%, and that's been fully eliminated along with the other ones since it's been a number of years now. So, what's the issue? Well, I see it's really a matter of taste and preference. Looking back to a VIP dinner in 2015, I had a wonderful opportunity to speak at length with Dr. Chung Eun Chan. Now, he's the former president of Seoul National University, and he was the Prime Minister of Korea in 2009-2010. Now, when my work as a consultant for Hyundai and Kia Motors was mentioned in the conversation, Dr. Chung spoke frankly about the automotive market and that Koreans loved all things American except when it came to their cars. And he said, and that's when they were wired to buy German. Now, I've linked this to a full article I wrote on it at the time. Now, these preferences do seem to ring true. According to Korea Automotive Importers and Distributors Association, and this is a organization that monitors trade in Korea, automotive industry in Korea. They said from January to June 2017, the share of imported vehicles in the domestic Korean market rose to 15.47% from 14.64% a year earlier. Now, the studies also show that 6 out of 10 customers in South Korea still pick German vehicles, other imported vehicles, with the two German automakers, Mercedes and BMW, neck and neck in competition. And this has grown greatly. I remember it was 4 or 5% of import. It's up to 15%, so like that. And of course, it just continues to shift more German. So taste, preference, However, I also see another shift occurring, and I think it's important to be relevant and timely on this. I see a jump in environmentally friendly Japanese car sales because they jumped about 21%, in the last month, which was June, to about 4,000 units compared to a year earlier. Worthy of note, Toyota's Prius Prime, the OEM's plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, was just introduced in Korea, and I think that's had a very significance. Now, as a caveat to this, about 6,215 units of Korean-made hybrid cars were sold in June, which is up 140% from from a month earlier. In Korea, Kia Motors' new crossover vehicle Niro is spearheading the popularity with about 3,000 units sold last month, taking about 52% of the Korean-made segment. So more than half of the Korean-made, hybrid and electric and eco-friendly cars are, going over to that brand, that particular model too. Again, when comparing the numbers, we see imports still making a huge proportional gain. So the pre-S sales were much more significant, when you look and compare it in the domestic car sale in that eco-friendly category. U.S. brands are not even on the radar. Now, one potential exception, of course, is Tesla, which launched in the past few months in Korea, and currently a test drive takes about 6 months to get scheduled in there, and it's about a 3-month delivery time. So logistically, there's some real bottlenecks there. Now we also see really two forces at play here. One is that Korean consumers are increasingly looking to buy green vehicles with various government subsidies that could add up to about 22 million won, which is about 18,000 US dollars. And two, this is probably more significant. In the wake of VW's Dieselgate, the government regulators have applied stricter rules on all diesel-powered vehicles with hybrid and electric vehicles, an attractive alternative. Of course, in addition, VW sales have all but halted under the current government ban, which the Japanese automakers are taking advantage of. Now, import car sales seem to have an impact on total production numbers in Korea. They're down over the previous year, and actually at quite a low from that. And again, I think just because you have more imports coming in, as that there's going to be less sale of domestically Korean-produced cars. So it only makes sense, On a positive side, Korean brands like Hyundai Motors, Genesis, are the sub-brand Genesis are tackling the challenge head-on, addressing the competition with a new lineup of, for the premium buyer in Korea. This approach may what is truly needed for U.S. imports, like with Tesla. A professor of engineering at Daelim University, Kim Pil-soo, mentions upgrading their vehicles to meet the luxurious taste of consumers is more important than complaining about non-tariff and tariff barriers. This is Don Southerton wishing you all the best. Take care.